Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It's time for the unofficial preview of West Ham United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, with Wolves just sitting one place above the Hammers in 17th position, 7 games played, with them on 6 and us on 4 points, loitering around that relegation zone. Not where both sides want to be. 1 win in 14 for Wolves. And now they play West Ham. Hope you are all well. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're new. Check out our channel sponsors here on West Ham Unofficial, SRM Carving Sun, by clicking the link in the description down below, as well as voting for me in this year's Football Content Awards by clicking the link in the description as well. Vote for me as Best Young Content Creator, West Ham Unofficial. Hope you're all well in the chat and watching. I'm joined by Mike. Mike, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Have you enjoyed the international break? As I certainly have.
Oh, cool. It's nice not to have that worry of a West Ham, playing badly over it. But yeah, I mean, England didn't play well either, did they?
England just been as bad, haven't they?
Like watching West Ham again, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was literally.
Yeah,
it was. But yeah, I suppose it's good to be back, isn't it? Good to be back on the preview. Hope you're all well. Hammerhead, hope you're well. Troy's in as well. Hope you are well, mate. Yeah. So Wolves then. I was surprised. I was just looking earlier on. Christ, Wolves are down there with us as well. I was just kind of forgotten about them. And then look, they're only 1 place above us. Only 6 points on the board. Bruno Lage in trouble, as well as David Moyes, you could add to that. I can't see it being an absolute thriller, Mike.
Well, let's face it, Jake. They sort of went off the boil when we did at the end of last year. This hadn't happened overnight. They lost a bit of form from the end of last season, and they had a chance of catching us, didn't they, for the Conference League place? But they didn't get anywhere near us because their form just totally went off the boil. But so did ours. So I mean, we're two teams that haven't really got going for a while.
No, and it's two teams that are bang low on confidence. And one thing I do worry is if we start badly, then the atmosphere in there is not going to be very nice. It can turn toxic very, very quickly in there, and the performances have probably warranted a reaction from the fans, and hopefully we don't see that on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think it's all about what sort of team he picks.
Yeah,
I think if you ask 90% of West Ham fans what sort of team they want put out on Saturday, it would be pretty much, I reckon the teams would be pretty similar in who we want on that pitch to start with. And if he puts those players who we're all asking for to be picked out there, then we got to get with them, get behind them, and hopefully get them to a result.
Well, because there's no good, and we come back to the same old names of, Bowen's not been good, Souček's been atrocious. Give these players opportunities, try things different, and this is what he's got to do, because now it can't get any worse. So I'm hoping he's just gonna go sod it and just go for what we want and drop Souček, start Flynn Downs, start these players that we've brought in. That I don't really think of David Moyes players. He's got to be brave with this now. There's no point dilly-dallying around with what he wants to do, because that's quite clearly not worked, because we're sat 7 games into the season on 4 points.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I mean, he surely he knows it's time for a change. It's got to be just to freshen things up. Whether he'll make the changes or not, well, we know how stubborn he is. He probably won't make, will he? But at the end of the day, we're all calling for it. Surely he can see it. Surely the rest of his backroom staff can see it, that, a change is needed. Not just one, but probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, even 3 or 4, yeah.
But I mean, during the international break, some of our players have played really well. I think Declan Rice has performed fairly well for England. Yeah. Obviously, the 2 guys played for Italy. Areola played and go for France.
Paqueta played well for Brazil.
Yeah, and Kira at right back for Germany. I mean, they all played well, and I mean they're in top team. 3 or 4 of the top teams in the world they're playing for, and they're not just average players in those teams. They're good players in those teams.
But they are making each other look bang average. And do you think it's time? And hopefully David Moyes was watching that England-Germany game. I should hope he was, for both Kehra's sake and, of course, Declan Rice's sake. And, well, Bowen wasn't even involved in the end, but for his sake as well. Do you think it's time that we start Kehra at right back, which opens up an opportunity for either Dawson or Bund to start alongside Zuma? What would you do with that whole situation? Because I thought he looked composed against England a couple of nights ago.
To be honest, he looks the sort of player you could put him wherever. You could put him in holding midfielder, or he's good on the ball. You know, he's strong, he's quick. I just like the look of him. He's a really tidy footballer. Okay, he's not going to dribble by 3 people and stick it in the top corner of the net. He's not that sort of player, but he is a real tidy sort of player. Typical German type player, technically sound. I mean, I don't think he'll do it until Aagaard's fit. I don't think he's going to do it till then. But
yeah, fair.
I think he might be forced into it, though, sooner than later.
And the two fundamentals that I think that he will be a good right back, that he's got the height and the physicality to play there, I think, because we've seen that as centre back, and he's got some pace. He's not gonna hold back. He's gonna get that ball, and hopefully he's just gonna run with some pace. I mean, so far it's just, you know, every time, and I think a big issue for us is that it goes out wide to the fullbacks and there's no go on us. It's just pass it infield sideways or backwards. There's no get the ball and go. And I think that's what Kehra can offer.
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, to be honest, you know, Soufal's crossing has always been very good, but I think he's just gone a bit stale. I think he needs sharpening up. Maybe dropping him might do that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and as well, I don't know whether you saw the West Ham woman last night, Mike, but you put a decent ball into the box. The Souček like header, 2 minutes, and I know they lost in the end, but they put a decent ball into the box. Eve Conch can see it, Paul Konchesky can see it. They're the flipping women's manager. You put a decent ball into the box, you get your head on it, and you put it into the back of the net. Our corners have just been atrocious, and you know that's been a saving grace for us, hasn't it?
I mean, you know, we've been absolute threat, haven't we? We've been one of the best teams in the league at sticking balls into the box. Good balls into the box and putting them away, but we haven't put enough decent balls into the box, full stop. We've still got guys out there, you know, the likes of Souček and, you know, Zuma, you know, that they should be getting on the end of them. But the balls haven't been good enough. The delivery is not been good enough. It's been poor. Well, I think the Ben Rama one at the end of the Everton game just thumbs up when it smacks into the side netting. Well,
oh God,
day no more.
Exactly. Neil, evening all from rural South Australia at 4 a.m. on Friday morning. Crikey, Neil.
Good man.
I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. George, both of us can't score, so probably end up 3-3. Exactly that. Sharky, hope you're well, pal. Hi all. Good to have West Ham back playing, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And Neil says our women's team is actually playing good attacking football. I watched a bit of it last night, and it was refreshing, especially the first half. You know, a West Ham team got the ball, and we looked to attack, and you know, somehow if you put a good ball into the box, we might score. Who knows?
Crazy.
Ken says, I've been saying for months Kehra should be playing at right back. Moyes is so stubborn, I think. And yeah, exactly. You know, people are starting to see that now after a really good performance. And these tweaks is what we need now, because there's no good going the same 4-2-3-1 or 5-3-2. He can call it a 3 at the back all he likes, but it's a 5 at the back at the end of the day. You know, there's no good starting your Creswell and your Soufal, Rice and Souček in midfield, Antonio up front with Bowen and 4 now. So there's just no point doing that. We might as well just not bother, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it, but why? He just doesn't think he can play Antonio and Scamacca together. But
play them together.
Why not? Give it a go. You could put Scamacca down the middle and Antonio could play out wide. I mean, God, he spent half the season playing out wide last year, towards the end of the season anyway. I mean, why not give it a go?
Yeah, you know? Because he's got to try something different, whether it goes into the formation change or playing different players in different positions. But that's it. But that's a prime example. That is there, the Antonio and Scamacca situation. And even one thing that should be driving it even more is Bowen's been rubbish, and we haven't really got a right-sided player who can play there. Cornet could probably play there, but I'm not sure of anybody else off the top of my head that's going to go and slot in and play in right wing. Mikel Antonio is a right winger, to put Schumacher up front, and even if it means putting Antonio on the right and getting him dropping in, and yeah, that's probably not going to give us much defensive cover if we're going to get him just playing on the inside, getting close to Schumacher. But it's something different, and against a vulnerable Wolves side. I mean, they've lost Connor Cody. I can't say I've watched them at all this season. They're a forgettable side at times, Wolves. But when we went up there last year, they just completely played us off the park. You know, they beat us 1-0 and it was done. We can't let that happen again. We cannot lose this match. And Moyes needs to work out, and he should have already, I hope, worked out his plan. And it's got to change from what we've seen in the last few weeks.
Definitely. I mean, teams have worked this out, and they full stop. And like I said, we signed these players, and the players that we've signed, we cannot play in the style that we've been playing, you know, getting that long ball up to Souček and getting off him, you know, with the likes of Antonio and Bowen getting off his headers and things like that. It's not working. That is not working. But the players he brought in are not suitable to that formation and style of play. He's got to change the way we play totally. Well, we've had 7 games where we could have done that. You know what I mean? And okay, you'd accept it if we're totally changing the style of play we're going to play over those 7 games for things to probably have teething problems with it. But we've gone 7 games and we're still messing about playing at the old formation that we were with players who ain't suited to it. It's just, you know, it ain't rocket science, full stop.
Yeah, you know? And we keep saying that Moyes is a good manager, and we're just thinking, you know, this isn't rocket science. We're all seeing it. The whole fan base can see it, that this is not working, and he needs to change it in whatever way. I hope he's had a long hard think this week. He's earned his money. He's come up with a new plan, and we're going to see a new West Ham on Saturday night. But I've just got a bad feeling. I really hope it doesn't happen, that we're going to see the same players, and we're going to end up with the same result, and Moyes is going to act surprised. We won't be surprised if he starts the same team and we're rubbing like we have been since the start of August, you know?
Not at all, but I mean, the players are there. They're good enough. They're too good to be where they are, but we all remember when we went down with 42 points and we said that team was too good to go down, but it still went down. So, I mean, it's too early to start thinking like that, I know, but I think we've got to start getting... do you know what I think, Jake? I think we need a performance.
Yeah, we do.
Because we haven't had a... Well, we've seen them play, haven't we? For 45 minutes.
Spurs was okay.
Yeah, Spurs was okay. Away at Villa, second half. But we haven't put in a 90-minute performance in any of those games. And that's counting the European games as well, against teams that we should be beating anyway. So that's the worrying bit, that we have not put a performance together that was worthy of a good result.
And as well, I think you mentioned Villa away there, and that was kind of that one in Brighton. We needed to get points, and it felt like a must-win game. You know, what were we, 3 with nothing or something like that, and we got something. And then we went to Villa, and I think we drew to Spurs or something, and we needed something. It felt in the stands, and you could just tell from David Moyes' body language at the final whistle that we needed something. Do you think this is a must-win game, Mike?
It is. We need points, but I think more than anything else, we need to at least not lose. But more importantly than anything is a performance that can get the fans out of the seats.
I think what David Moyes has got to be aiming here for is points. He cannot lose this game. He cannot afford to lose this game, and he needs a performance. Yes, it would be good if we, scraped a 1-0 or a 1-1 and we play crap. That's it's good. We'll take it, of course, but we do need to add performances to this as well, because it's not like the cup where it doesn't matter, we're through, end of it. We are playing the league week in, week out, and if the performances are staying at this level, then we aren't going to get very far.
Exactly. I mean, if we do scrape a win and the performances is not good, I still wouldn't be, over the moon about that. I want to see a performance.
Yeah.
I just need to see something that is going to make me think, yeah, okay, this will come together. Even if it's only in bits and pieces during the game, we need to see that, where it looks like, yeah, this will come together and it will work. Okay, we might have only drawn the day or whatever, but there's something there that we can work on for the next few games, which, let's face it, they are winnable games, the next few after that as well.
Yeah.
So, but West Ham being West Ham, we're probably going to beat Liverpool and lose to these teams, but
the pressure is massively on now, because a lot of people in Troyes say 3 losses from the sack, and I think he's bang on, to be honest. I think that Sullivan, and Gold and whoever will keep him in the job longer than we want him to be there, to be honest, because he is, he's a safe man, and they'll try and keep him in as long as it's possible. But these 3 games now are massive. We've got Wolves, Fulham, and Southampton away, and then we start going into Man United, Liverpool's, which is just, so we need to pick up. And Kent Moyes has to get a minimum of 6 from the next 9, and I agree.
I think he needs 6 from the next 9 points.
Yeah.
If he got 5, it would be okay. 2 draws and a win would probably be just about acceptable.
Yeah, I agree. And Moyes will 100% want, and just that reassurance, so he can go get, and we win on Saturday. We're on Sky, everything else, and it just releases just that little bit of pressure, because we've got Wolves, Fulham, Southampton, and then Liverpool, Bournemouth, Man United. Then coming up to the end of October. So it is a make or break month now for David Moyes. It's a make or break couple of weeks.
I do. I think we've got to get some points before the World Cup. We need to get a few on the board, but it's always going to be a disjointed season anyway. I think this year, I could see it always going to be like, oh God, things might completely change after the World Cup. Hopefully for the good.
Yeah. Let's take some more of your comments. I'm going to scroll up because I missed a few. Trudge says, notice we were trying to push Soufal right at the pitch so Kehrer would cover the pacey wingers, and Soufal was pressing a lot more. To be fair, I think Soufal's owed a week on the bench, to be honest, but I do see that as well, that Kehrer drifting out and Soufal going up.
Yeah.
It could be something that Moyes would try almost to push him out and get Zuma to come across and cover a little bit more and play quite narrow on that side and let Soufal go pretty much. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Sharky says, I saw a stat earlier that Bowen and Antonio have only found a pass to each other once this season. These stats are scary. 9 points out of 42, all of them. Mike is smiling, but it's not good at all, and it sums up Bowen, to be honest, and it's sums up the quality of not production. What's the word? Thingy that mine's gone blank. What Antonio gets? Oh my God, the service. That's it. There we go. The service that Antonio gets. Christ alive!
I didn't know where he was going with that one.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows the service.
I do think that with Bowen, I probably would give him a little bit more time, but the Souček thing it's gone too far now.
Yeah, it's just a joke, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just slowing us down in the middle of the park. I know. Apparently, Moyes was having a word with him this week or whatever.
Meeting, according to Claren here.
Yeah, I know, but what is that going to do? I don't want to knock the guy.
Drop him.
I don't want to knock the guy too much. He's done really well for us, but playing where he is at the moment in there is just slowing us down all the time.
It's not helping him either. If he starts on Saturday night, there's going to be anger from West Ham fans at home and in the stadium, and it's not doing him any good, because he's clearly on a horrible run of form at the moment, and he just can't seem to string 2 passes together. So it's not healthy that he keeps getting picked and being put under the spotlight. And you've got him, honestly, what Flynn Downs must be thinking, I'll never know. Like, honestly, just sat on the bench week after week after he keeps putting in these stinkers. Surely he must now deserve his Premier League start.
I think Souček's did so well for us because he was getting in the box and causing problems and scoring goals, and him sitting back where he was, and that pass he played in the Everton game was just terrible, because he's just don't like being sat in there. He wants to make those runs into the box, and let's face it, he can score a goal and he's got an eye for goal. But I can't, to be totally honest, it's not working with him playing deeper. It's
No.
just not working for him at all. I think we just got away with it a little bit with him playing a bit deeper. But when he was pushing forward and Rice was sitting back all the time and giving him that license to go and push into the box, he was scoring goals. He was setting up chances, and I think that's his game. But
Yeah.
to be totally honest, with the way we want to play now, signing guys like Paqueta, it's just, I can't see a place in the team for him. You know, he could be a guy to bring on, you know what I mean, if we need a go and push him, you know, up alongside the front man or whatever, or just in behind the front man. But honestly, I just can't see it working. I just don't think it's working.
No, and somebody else has got to have the opportunity, because it's not healthy for anyone.
Yeah.
Usual suspects. It's time to put all the new signings in if fit. I think he should just go. You know what? Let's just go for it. Let's start Scamacca. Antonio. Somebody commented earlier. Yeah, Kent says it there actually. Antonio shouldn't start. Because he travelled back from international duty so late. I go with Scamacca up front. So Scamacca and Cornet up front. So if Antonio's jet lagged and everything else, just don't play him. You know, it's not worth it. We've got Scamacca there. Let's see if he can prove himself now. Let's start Cornet. Let's start Paqueta, and let's get them close. And let's have a game plan, because honestly, it doesn't look like we've got a plan A, B, C, D, or E, or F at the moment. Let's have a game plan. Let's use these quality players we've got there, and let's look like a proper football team.
True. Yeah, I mean, Antonio, he's going to be tired, obviously, and he played most of the game, I think, as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
He only come off near the end, so yeah, good idea. Stick him on the bench to start with.
Yeah. Neil says here, I should change to a 4-3-3 setup. So what I do with that is back four kind of picks itself. Is you're going to put Kera there, you are. If you're not, you're not. So then you've got Rice and hopefully Downs. And then would you kind of drop Fornals back to open up that role then for perhaps a Paqueta or Cornet's got on the left, but then you don't really have a number 10 because Fornals is going to sit more deep. Or would you play Fornals as a number 8/10 and then not start Paqueta there, or just start Paqueta and drop Fornals?
I don't know. I'd like to see Rice, Paqueta, and Fornals.
Oh, that's saucy.
I would. I'd like to see that. Why not? I mean, we got to do something different because everyone knows, you know, how we play, and maybe we need to take a jump on Wolves and just do something completely different.
One player that we haven't discussed is Saïd Benrahma, which we probably should have discussed. And as well, I think it's difficult because we've got so many players there and we want them all to start, and of course that's not possible. And Benrahma deserves to start. There's no two ways about it. You know, he's been our best player. You know, we're all excited about the Cornets and everything else but we can't forget that Benrahma's got to start, because otherwise, you know, what's the point?
To be totally honest, but I think he's better just being in behind the front man. I really do.
Yeah, as that kind of number 10 pushing up on him.
Number 10 just playing in the middle of the park. He's so much better than out wide. Some of his crossing is
not good.
It's not been good, you know. But when he plays in that little hole, he causes all sorts of trouble. But then you've got a problem, aren't there? What do you do with midfielder? I mean, there is times that he's played as a number 8. Yeah. He has played.
Or maybe what we do is we kind of play what's the word? Less orthodox midfielders. We put Rice sitting, and we've got kind of both of them up there as like a number 8 and a number 10. So just pushing up on each other, maybe alternating in a kind of Benrahma and Paqueta pivot kind of up the field a bit more and just let Rice sit. Or do you think David Moyes will think, you know, at home? I know we're at home, but that is quite attacking.
Yeah, it is attacking. That would be. You could see David Moyes going for that, really. But joking aside, I'd like to see it. You know, give it a go, see what happens. You know, I mean, we might get into a couple of goals, getting a 2-goal lead, and then we could probably be a bit more orthodox in the second half.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Paqueta played as a sort of more of a number 10 for Brazil, but they have said that he has played, in a deeper role as well. Yeah. He's strong enough for it. He's physically strong. He's good on the ball. He can have the ball in those little tight situations. I know he he's taken a bit of time to settle in. He's given the ball away a few times, but hey, you know, he's got to get out there, hasn't he, and get stuck in and get into the pace of this Premier League.
Yeah, 100%. Striker says Jake probably thinks Des Walker is a crisp. No, Des Walker, who was born on the 26th of November 1965, is an English football coach, former player who reached 7 cup finals for Nottingham Forest, winning 5 of them as a Nottingham Forest former player. I'll have you know, Sharky.
You'll never beat Des Walker.
Yeah, that stat Sharky brought up, that was awful. Right, let's scroll down. Moyes has to get minimum 6 from the next 9. Bang on.
Yeah,
It is. For once, I do agree with you slightly, Sean. Another 50-50. It could go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way, to be honest with you. Another 50-50. They all are at the moment. Wouldn't expect many goals in this game. No, definitely not. There's 1 or 2 goals in it, I think, maximum. Saturday is a must-win game for me, really, in my opinion. Arsenal beating Spurs at the weekend. Of course, they're at the top of the league. Arsenal winning the league. They've got the best manager in the league. They've got the best captain in the league. They've got everything. And they've got the best library in the league as well.
I think that's a draw. That is a draw. Arsenal.
Yeah, it's got a draw written all over it. Sean says, down to the Championship player, don't forget a big step to be thrown in straight in. Well, anything could be better than Souček. To be fair, Sean, you should be pretty embarrassed that, you know, we haven't picked up points against many teams this year, but we picked up points against you, or a point, and Souček scored. And Souček's been awful all season. So, you know, you should hold your head in shame for that, Sean. Troy says Cornet will be our biggest goal threat if he plays. Just will annoy us with offsides, but maybe Paqueta will release him quicker. Cornet, Paqueta, Scamacca, link up, get Ben Rama in there as well. Let's just go for it. You know what? We just shouldn't hold back. Moyes, just go for it, son. Just go for it. Right, let's scroll. 180 million's worth of talent warming the bench. It doesn't make an ounce of sense, Mike. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been moaning our squad's not big enough. Now we got one of the best squads we've ever had.
Yeah.
And now we're all, you know, we don't know who we should be playing. Whereas before we'd had to play the same 11 all the time. Now we got players that come off the bench. You know, it should be working, but it's just not at the moment.
No, it's not. No. Troy says can't say it was a successful window, and that's the thing. Like, we were all thinking it's buzzing, but now we're looking back and thinking, oh, it's not been great. But David Moyes just needs to get these players in and utilize them right, and then it will be a good transfer window, in my opinion. It'll be, you know, if we can get them firing, it's scary, but we just need to get them firing. Free roll for Benny. That's what we need for him, and he needs to be playing. That's the bottom line for me, Mike.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, I do, Rich. He's got to play in that little. He's got to give him that little bit of room and that little bit of space, because he's the one that can make things happen. And let's face it, he was so unlucky. Come on against Everton and hit the inside of the post, and it, you know, millimetre over, and it's in the net, and it's hell of a go, and you know, and it's a decent result in the end.
Yeah. He just hasn't quite had the luck, you know. He didn't have it in did not have it in Nottingham, didn't have it on Merseyside, but you know,
it's weird. I mean, we've had no luck in the Premier League at all, have we? I mean, you know, we battered Spurs for the last 10-15 minutes and could have scored. I admit, you know, Spurs were a better team in the first half and probably had more possession than us on the night, but at the end they were, you know, we had put a lot of pressure on them, and they're a good side, you know, and we just couldn't get the luck to get that ball fizzed across the face of the goal a couple of times. I mean, let's face it, the Notts Forest game, no luck at all in that game. You know, if we'd had a little bit of luck, in the Conference League, we've had every little bit of luck.
Oh yeah, we have, haven't we? That's not lie.
So, you know, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's just we could have done with the luck changing a little bit in a couple of those Premier games.
We shouldn't really be sitting here relying on luck at the end of the day. You know, we've got the players there, haven't we?
That's right. You shouldn't rely on a bit of luck, but sometimes you need it just to get yourself going, and it gives you a bit of confidence.
EP says, evening mate, I'm actually quite confident, believe it or not, 3-1, but we need to make changes. Saeed has to start without a question. Also Cornet for Bowen, he has been off so far, so needs a break and go again. Yeah, I can't disagree with you, fair enough, and I like the positivity. I don't know what that is, Sharky. I don't know what Wikipedia is. No idea. Kansas Des Walker was that good. He went to Italy in the 90s, where every top player went.
True.
I knew that. Interesting.
Even Ian Rush did.
Sean says too many players bought who need time to adjust to the league, and some that just don't seem moist types, flamboyant players. Yeah, I can't disagree.
No,
They're not moist types.
He's smack on that.
Yeah. Corney on the left wing, that's probably where he'll play, I would guess. Yeah. Troy says, think positively, perhaps we should take comfort on missing out on Nunes. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe that's positivity we should take out of it. We said no to Nunes and we're still really bad. But anyway. A quick word on Wolves, Mike. Why do you think they are where they are currently, down there making friends with West Ham?
Well, they're there because they can't score goals, aren't they? Full stop. I mean, they're a tidy team. They've got some good footballers, some highly talented players, but they just don't score enough goals. No. Just hope that doesn't change on Saturday. But that's where their problems started towards the end of last season. They just, they weren't scoring. I mean, they lost a striker, didn't they? And he came back, which was good to see the lad come back, but he's not been the same. He's not been the same since, and he was scoring for fun before that, and he was obviously giving them confidence with the goals he was scoring. With the good players they had around him. But you got to stick the ball in the old onion bag, mate, as they say. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not a Wolves fan. I can't say if I've probably watched more than 2 minutes of Wolves this season. I think I watched the first couple of minutes of their Man City game, and they drew down on the seaside to Bournemouth. They've beat Southampton, got thumped by City. Most sides will, to be honest. I think they drew to Newcastle. They haven't been winning games that perhaps they would have won last year, and they were serious contenders at some point to be pushing us and to be pushing the top six. Diego Costa fit? I don't know. They said give him a month. So
apparently there's a chance he could be in the squad on Saturday.
Christ.
There's a chance, but he's not going to be fit, is he?
No.
He's not played for a long time, Jake. I mean, okay, he's an absolute nuisance and he was a good player, but I don't think he's going to be anywhere near match fit.
No, he will be a nuisance to some teams, but I don't think he's going to be heavily involved against us, which I think we've got to take as a positive. Phil, hope you are well. Phil says, make that an extra goal for Costa after playing us. Yeah, exactly. These players always score against us. Right, then we'll start wrapping things up. Mike, predictions, sir.
Well, I think there's not going to be many goals in it. I could see it even being a boring 0-0 draw, but I've got to try and be positive and say we'll scrape it 2-1.
Yeah, fair enough. I was hoping you weren't going to go 1-0 because that's my prediction, 1-0.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 2-1, a 1-0, or a low scoring draw. I'd be incredibly surprised if it goes much past a 2-1, to be honest, because it's two bang out of form sides who can't score for toffee. So, it'll be a 3-3 now. We said that because that's how 4-4. Yeah, that's how these things work. An injury time equaliser. Yeah, scrappy 1-0 for me. It's not going to be great again. I don't think Moyes is going to make all the changes that we want. He will make a couple. I think who they are, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I think we do just about scrape at home advantage. I think we win, but it's not going to be pretty at all. Scrappy 2-1, 1-0. Sean says Spurs beat Wolves 1-0. I can't remember the game or goal. Nothing tells a story. Well, you should remember, Sean. You should go and watch it again.
I do remember some of that game.
Even Mike can remember it, Sean.
Yeah, I watched that game. Spurs didn't start well at all, and the Wolves had chances, but Wolves didn't take their chances, and then Spurs scored, and they were a much better team in the last sort of 20, 25 minutes. But first 20, 25 minutes of that game, Wolves had many good, 3 or 4 decent chances to score, and were the better team. But Spurs, they got it together in the end, and won 1-0, and it could have been more, to be honest.
Yeah. Usual suspect says, what price is Costa getting booked or sent off tomorrow? See, well, every time I think Costa, I'm like, why is people talking about coffee in my chat, but no Diego Costa? I need to get that back into my head. Yeah. If he comes on, he will for sure. He just likes a booking, doesn't he? Just want to see a good performance. That's all we want. A question.
I totally agree. We just need a performance. We need something that we can get behind. You know, and if say we do end up drawing the game or whatever, but if we see a good performance, then it's something to take on into the next game.
Yeah, for sure. Ken says, question, Jay, will you be playing FIFA 23 tomorrow? I actually don't have a proper Xbox or PS4 for it, or PS5 or whatever it's up to nowadays. Shock. So no, I won't be. I don't play FIFA. And I know that'll shock a lot of people. I just haven't got a proper Xbox for it, and you know, I've got things to do. Not being funny. But yeah.
Plenty of homework to do, Jake.
Yeah, all right, Mike. All right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I won't be playing FIFA tomorrow. So don't expect FIFA videos from me. I can play FIFA, but I just haven't got the facilities for it, Kent. The question is, will you be playing FIFA tomorrow? Who else will be playing FIFA when it comes out tomorrow? Mike, are you playing FIFA tomorrow?
No. No, I'm afraid. Got too many little jobs on my list down there.
Oh, your FIFA days well and truly over, Mike?
I think they might be over, yeah.
There we go. It's been a West Ham versus Wolves unofficial preview, Mike. I'm going to hand over to you for interesting stat of the day. No, I'm only kidding. Your final thoughts for the game.
Well, it's all kitted out to be the absolute bore draw, but I just hope and pray that we put a performance in and we got something, like I said, to take on into the next few games. We need to win, but like I say, performance and some sort of result out of the game is a must.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. What I'd say is changes needed, performance needed, goals needed, hope needed, to be honest with you. Just something we can take out of it and go, yeah, we can see progress there. We can see David Moyes has spent the last week actually looking to progress us, because, you know, we can't get much worse. We probably can, but at the moment it just seems like, I don't know. I don't know what it seems like, but we need to change it. Right, talking a little bit about FIFA. FIFA 95, best version ever. What was I? I was minus 13. I was nearly minus how old I am now when FIFA 95 came out. Does that make you feel old, Mike?
I'm not going to say how old I was in 95.
Phil says, haven't played FIFA in 5 years. I used to like FIFA 2004, and it had a great soundtrack. I used to play FIFA 17 on the old Xbox 360 over there. FIFA 17 soundtrack was the one. But anyway, worst thing that can happen over the next 3 to 5 games is draws. Not enough to move up the table and not enough for the board to out Moyes. Yeah, I agree.
They do need win. At 3 points, it's got to get at least 1 3 point, or maybe 2 3 points in the next 3 games.
Oh, 100%. We need to. I think the key stat is 6 from 9, and I think he's safe. Anything much below that, I think he's in trouble. Kent says, fair play, Jake. Half the world will be playing. I'll be waiting for Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, half the world will be playing FIFA tomorrow, exactly. But hey ho, it is what it is. Thank you very much. Kent's undecided whether he's going to buy it or not. Well, how much is it nowadays? I used to remember when it used to be 50 quid when it came out a few years ago. I'm sure some people can imagine it was a lot less than that, but I think it's about 70, 80 quid nowadays. But yeah, bit steep, Mike.
Yeah, far too steep for me.
So there we go. So an official preview for West Ham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Thank you very much for watching, Mike. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Don't forget to vote for this lad.
Thank you very much. So you can vote for me in this year's Football Content Awards. I will be up there in Manchester on the 16th of November. You know, I'll be getting autographs off the whole lot. You know, Robbie from AFTV will be up there, I'm sure. So you know,
they'll be getting them on you, Jake. Don't worry, they'll be getting.
Yeah, I know. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's that lad there, and he sits in the back of his bedroom. You know, exactly. $5 an autograph. That's what I'm saying. You know, you got to go through my agents that are up there, you know, sorting things out, getting the hotel ready and everything else. But yeah, vote for me in the Football Content Awards, Instagram, Twitter, on the website. Let's just win this thing, shall we? Because I can guarantee that if I win, I'll win more silverware than West Ham this year, and I'm going to use that as my motto. That's my manifesto. Sod the politics. That's my manifesto for winning the Football Content Awards. If I win, I'll have more trophies than West Ham will this season. Get voting, indeed. Phil says I used to play on the PS2 £35.
Oh, PS2, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Phil. Best YouTuber out there, Jakey. Oh, thank you very much.
Well done, Phil.
Well, thank you very much. But yeah, that's it from us. Come on, you Irons. We'll catch you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Cheers, guys. Thanks, Mike. And we'll catch you soon.
See you later, guys.
Up the Hammers.
Out the Hammers.